Hi everyone, it's the Comic Fan Man here, coming at you with another video. And in today's video, we're going to have a look at another Mythic Legions MOTU tribute figure here. And this is Bryophytus. He's their tribute to Mossman. Here's his right up there. I'll leave that there. You can pause it so you can read it. Here's the back of the box. You can pause that and read it. And it looks like he's from the reindeer gang. I don't know that tribe yet. I am starting to read into the lore, yeah, I haven't really delved deep into it just yet. But obviously, this is the Four Horsemen's tribute to Mossman, and complete with flocking and everything. And I think he looks fantastic. All right, let's open him up and see what we got. All right, and here he is out of the box with all of his accessories. Bryophytus from Mythic Legions. And I will not be remembering that name because I will be calling him Mossman from here on out. Because that's just an easier name for me to remember. And yeah, he comes with a really nice array of weapons here. And first we'll take a look at this first. Look at this. He comes with a tiny dagger and sheath. That's pretty amazing. Look at all the detail that they put on this little sheath. It's a simple color scheme, obviously, because they are following the Masters of the Universe aesthetic. And look at that. The dagger fits right in and it's not loose. It doesn't pop right out. But the dagger is really pretty as well. Just like a shiny copper color, and it just slides right in. And it's got like a little latch here for the belt, so you can latch this onto his belt. He comes with the same Mythic Legions weapon belt that the other figures come with, so we've seen this one before. And then he comes with a mace, and all of these weapons are in the color scheme of his armor, just like the old school Mattel figures. But the shape is really wonderful. And the shoulder pauldrons here, again, we have seen the shoulder pauldrons before, but it's a really nice color scheme, very simple. So we'll see what that looks like on him later. He comes with this extra head sculpt, which is amazing. Excuse me. This one he looks like he's bearded. And that looks really very cool. The flocking that they did on this figure is really nice. And it's on there pretty well. I mean, you do get some flaking off, obviously, the more you mess around with him. But it's done really well. And then he comes with the staff, which comes in two parts. Look at this. Beautiful staff. Nice carving there. Nice carving at the other end. And then this is a peg for the top half of the staff here. And as you can hear that, it fits in there nice and tight. And then you have that. So it kind of makes it look like he's got a natural wood peg that comes out at the top of the staff to make it look like, you know, a magic wizard staff with wood at the top, to kind of talk about his nature magic. But this is not just like a green gem at the top of the staff. This is actually the 1.0 head peg, so you can actually put a head or something at the top of the staff there to give it extra decorations. I did see them do this for the Skeletor staff in a video, and yeah, there was a helmet that they have in Mythic Legions that you can make it look like the Havoc staff. So that's where I saw them use this for the head. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. You can actually put a head on it. But obviously, right now, you just use it for his staff. Now let's take a look at the figure himself. Look at this dude. He's all covered from head to toe in flocking. They did a really nice job. Obviously, there are certain areas that they can't flock over because it's hinged. But, like, you know, put out the arms, that kind of covers the seams a little bit. But also, if you put the shoulder pauldrons on him, it'll cover that. And he does have the peg holes for the shoulder pauldrons and the wing sets, which is pretty neat. And I like the fact that the flocking is like multicolored. It's not just a flat green. It's like green, yellow. It's got a little bit of brown speckling in there as well. And it's all over the figure on his legs. Really, really cool. And he's got it on his feet as well. That's really kind of nice. So I'm thrilled with this. This is really an excellent figure. You know, it's an excellent design. Look, he's got flocking on his hands as well. And he's got one weapon holding hand here. And the other hand is kind of like a magic gesturing hand. So Mossman, obviously, his powers are tied to the nature of Eternia. And this figure here in his bio, if you read his bio, he also has the same kind of thing. He is an orc. I believe they're called a lich orc. But they are tied, they do have magic that ties them to nature. So that's pretty cool. That even though he is the same design as Mossman, they also kind of give him the same powers as Mossman. I really like that. Oh, let's switch out the head real quick. And as you can see, he's got the 1.0 peg, and the flocking goes all the way up to the joint there. And let's put on his fully bearded head. Ooh, I like that one. That's nice. Oh, I think I like this head better. Simply because of the nice extended beard. I mean, this one is nice, but I think I like this one better. I think that makes him look more like a classic Moss Man. Yeah, let's put his stuff on. All right, and here he is with all of his weapons on, and I think he looks really, really cool. Look at that. He's able to have everything on him. With this belt here, I have the dagger hooked onto the belt on that side. I have the mace dangling from the back here, and I got the staff in his hands. This is really, really cool. Yeah, the Four Horsemen really do an amazing amount of work, and the figure is really, really astounding. Obviously, the armor pieces are all armor pieces that we've seen before, and this is obviously the Barbarian #1 body, so it's all the same kind of articulation, although you do kind of have to be a little bit careful with the articulation, simply because, like, you know, he is flocked. So obviously the more you move him around, the more he's going to be like losing pieces of the flocking. So you'll probably strip him after a while. And the other thing that might be of a concern is that, you know, because he is flocked, if you leave him out too long, you know, collecting dust on his body might actually be an issue down the line. So I'll have to pay attention to that and see how that works out. But really, like, the Four Horsemen executed the look of this figure amazingly. Like, I did not get the Masterverse version of Mossman, simply because they didn't flock him. That was a little bit disappointing to me, because it's like, man, like, Mossman is known to be the one figure in the MOTU line that actually has flocking. So yeah, that was kind of disappointing to me that it didn't have it. But, you know, the Four Horsemen were able to do it with this figure. So now I finally have a Mossman around the scale. He's the Mythic Legions is a little smaller than the Masterverse, but not obnoxiously smaller. So you can definitely fit them into a Masterverse display. And as for me, I started my collecting Masterverse when they came out with the 40th anniversary He-Man. So yeah, he definitely can be the Mossman of my collection, and that makes me very, very happy. All right, there's how much I lost of his flocking so far. Just moving him around obviously is not that much, but yes, you can see he's definitely losing some flocking, so be careful. Here is my Mossman versus Skeletor. In the Revelation cartoon, there was a scene where Skeletor and Mossman do battle. I did not like Revelation, but that was a cool scene. That was a cool fight scene, where Skeletor and Mossman were going at each other. I don't like the way that he finished Mossman, but you know, it is what it is. But here, I'm replaying that battle here with my Kit Bash Skeletor here, with Mossman, and I think they look absolutely fantastic together here. I put one of the little magic effects there from the Snake Sorceress Masterverse Tila. Fits around his staff perfectly, so it makes it look like he's shooting out magic, and now Mossman has to block it. And here is the legendary Barbarian He-Man offering Mossman a hand in the battle. And yeah, they look wonderful. Yeah, I chose to leave my legendary Barbarian as He-Man. This is the extra shield that came with Kawaros. I just painted it up to make it look more like his vintage shield. And yeah, my legendary Barbarian He-Man definitely has his completed look now with the shield. And they go well together. Mossman was one of the Guardians of Castle Grayskull. And yeah, he's a helper of He-Man. So here they are, side by side. And here's how he sizes up with a McFarlane figure. This is Kiki from the Legend of Vox Machina, the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon that's on Amazon Prime. Definitely a fun show. Give it a watch. She is the druid of the team, and her powers are very similar to what Mossman's powers would be, in that, you know, she can control plants and do all sorts of stuff with it. And so yeah, her powers are basically the same as Mossman, so you can definitely see them teaming up to protect Castle Grayskull. And here he is facing off against the new Eternia Beast Man version 1. There is a new Eternia Beast Man that also just came out. I should be getting him soon. But yeah, and as we all know, the vintage Mossman, his body was based off of the sculpt of the original Beastman body. He was basically Beastman. They just did him in green, and they put flocking over him to make him, you know, his own character. And yeah, you can definitely see that here. I haven't checked, but I'm wondering. I mean, this makes me wonder if there is a orange version of this orc body that is a Beastman out there. I haven't seen or heard anything about it. But I'm gonna have to take a look to see if there is a Beastman, or if there's a way to kit bash a Beastman from Mythic Legions. But as you can see here, Beastman's got his whip, and I changed out his staff for his Mace and Dagger combo. So it makes Mossman like he's, instead of relying on magic, he's actually going to rely on his martial skills to deal with the Beastman. All right, so I hope you enjoyed this look at Bryophytus from Mythic Legions. Their tribute figure to Mossman, so obviously he's going to be Mossman in my collection here. And as you can see, he is really filling out my MOTU tribute figures very nicely. Yeah, Mythic Legions has really done a lot to change my mind over this last month. Just looking at the figures and how they all come together. Yes, there is a lot of reuse, but you know, with me getting started collecting them with these Masterverse style figures, it's really like just opened my eyes as to what is capable with this line. I mean, really, this line is very much like a action figures version of Lego, because like you can just build and swap so many different style of characters. And obviously, yes, for me, MOTU is my favorite IP from when I was a child. Sword and sorcery was always my thing, and MOTU was obviously something I grew up with. But this is a very, like, you know, I love it. It's a dark fantasy take on MOTU, and I think it's fantastic. I think the Mythic Legions, Four Horsemen have done such a tremendous job with this line. And yeah, I look forward to seeing what else that they're going to produce. All right, so if you enjoyed this video and you feel that I've earned it, please give me a like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you and have a great day. Bye-bye now.